Well, a day before the 2026 FIFA World Cup kicks off, one of the tournament favourites completes its preparations. England's perfect qualifying campaign and the strength of its squad means they are amongst the favourites. Historic disappointments, the reason coach Thomas Tuchel is managing expectations. For just the second time in 7 editions, Costa Rica are absent from the World Cup. A run of 1 win in 11, dropping them out of the world's top 50. Tonight they offer England an ideal tune-up and a chance to show what their future might hold. Just 12 years ago, this was a World Cup fixture. Costa Rica and England drawing 0-0. Costa Rica going on to win the group. England going home embarrassingly early. How very different things are now in 2026. They will hope to travel into the World Cup with a morale before kick-off between England and Costa Rica in Orlando. Will of course have the national anthems. Sim level, 4th all-time for England with Steven Gerrard. John Stones is the only survivor from the game between these sides ahead of the World Cup in 2018. Declan Rice and his 3 Arsenal teammates, fresh from the UEFA Champions League final, linked up with England on Saturday ahead of the game against New Zealand. They are available for England ahead of the World Cup for the first time. 67 goals for club and country this season for Harry Kane, in form, just at the point that his nation needed it. Costa Rica captain Orlando Gallo is their most experienced player. He is winning a relatively modest 33rd cap tonight. And Costa Rica will feel as though they have got something to prove to themselves as much as anyone else. They missed out on a place at the World Cup. England will be absolutely determined that they will head into Group L of the tournament in winning form. Araya with the throw to Feiron. Sakira continues in goal for Costa Rica. He is, it would seem, the heir apparent to the great Keylor Navas. It's James forward for Madueke to chase. Araya forward. Won by Ezri Konsa. Dismiss the suggestion that England are World Cup favourites. Thomas Tuchel pointing out that it's a long time since England have got their hands on a major trophy and that other fancy nations have had more recent experience of success. Reece James has been penalised for a challenge on Yosemar Alcacer. Not necessarily the initial contact that Alcacer is suffering from. Maybe subsequently Reece James landing on him. Fernando Batista is the man who has been charged with getting Costa Rica back to something resembling their best. It's just the 4th game in charge for him, and he is still awaiting the first win. One early for Alcacer, and hopefully will be able to continue. He has been one of the more established members of this youthful and slightly inexperienced Costa Rica team. They are building for the future. Soto penalised. Anderson for Madueke. Galde will put himself about. That is his default setting. That was unnecessarily aggressive. Anderson. James. Came off the England player last. Alcacer still inspecting the damage from the challenge with James earlier. That's beyond the reach of Declan Rice, I think. That caught him by surprise. Anderson quickly to it for England. Stones. O'Reilly. Konsa. Madueke. Fouled by Alcacer. Konsa lets Rice take over. Here's John Stones. He'll switch out to Madueke. First opportunity for England to apply some pressure. Anderson. Bellingham. Stones. O'Reilly. Dart from Gordon went unutilised until now. O'Reilly. Bellingham. Trying to find an angle to shoot from. And it's only a deflection that took the effort wide. First threat from England, very nearly producing an early goal. Slows down Bellingham. And that was one of the three doing so that sent the ball wide of the post. Stall set out early that penalty area nonsense won't be tolerated. Madueke has re-prepared himself to deliver the corner. Very nearly fell to Konsa. Anderson. Here's Konsa. Very close to getting himself into the vital area right in front of goal. Anderson for O'Reilly. For Gordon, for Rice. For Gordon again. And very nearly for Harry Kane. But for the outstretched boot of Orlando Gallo. Well, this is the sort of intensity that was called for from England, and they're looking to establish their authority early in the game. Anthony Gordon, Nico O'Reilly, Reece James, Declan Rice, Noni Madueke. Kept the ball in play and found Bellingham, who's found Elliot Anderson, who's looking for Harry Kane, who thinks he was fouled. In fact, he's fairly insistent. Madueke. England looking menacing and purposeful. Intent to take control early. Elliot Anderson. Noni Madueke gets it back from Bellingham. Stones for Anthony Gordon. Burst of speed from him, and Rice has found a way through. Early goal threatened, early England goal delivered. Declan Rice giving Thomas Tuchel's team just the sort of start to the contest they'd have wanted. And it was all about this burst from Anthony Gordon, away from Johnson. And Declan Rice was the player he spotted in the ideal position to benefit from his industry. Didn't need to be the cleanest hit of Declan Rice's career. Little bit of a deflection, taking the ball beyond the reach of Patrick Sequeira. One of the recent arrivals to link up with the England squad. He's got his name on the score sheet. His 7th goal for his country. Declan Rice has made it. England 1, Costa Rica 0. After the attritional first half against New Zealand in Tampa on Saturday, took until first half stoppage time for England to find the one and only goal. They will be delighted that one has arrived inside 10 minutes today. It's a goal that feels like it's just brought a settled calm to the Inter & Co stadium. Almost as though something that was demanded has been delivered. Noni Madueke. Nearly bursting beyond the defence and intent to keep the ball in play, but off Bellingham it goes for a throw. Does Jude Bellingham have a point to prove? That's the talk in England. By no means a guaranteed starter when England kick off their World Cup campaign in a week's time in Dallas against Croatia. This team were dogged and determined against Colombia, made a real game of it in Bogota last week, despite the 3-1 scoreline. They've not been able to resist England for anything like as long here. thinks he's got 14 or 15 potential starters, Thomas Tuchel. Certainly isn't going to be drawn on who can almost be certain of their place in his World Cup starting 11, but was keen to stress that no one tonight is playing for their place. All about pushing the boundaries with what he saw as a strong lineup, if not necessarily his first choice 11. Only time will tell. Nico O'Reilly for Gordon. And it's off Sakira and behind. Anthony Gordon has already created one goal and came close to finding a second for England there. Potentially with some help from the goalkeeper. I want to pull it back to this time. Instead looking to poke it across the face of goal where Madueke was a possible recipient. A bit of frustration from an England point of view that having to delay the set piece. Aaron Salazar is the player charged with dealing with Harry Kane. Nice, it's gone deep in the corner. Kane is there. And Konsa had an opportunity to apply the finishing touch. Now Kane has been penalised for fouling Jelen Mitchell. Big booming corner, wasn't it? Kane peeled into space to try and create rather than score for himself. Mystified that he has given away a free kick. Headed away by Stones, back up in the air off Ferron. Rice towards Kane. Salazar away. Konsa. Madueke. Dancing away from Alcacer. Unable to get Bellingham involved. But despite all the football that Noni Madueke has played this season, north of 50 goals for club and country, he still seems bright and full of energy. The long season has not taken its toll, seemingly, on him. Alcacer in ahead of Anderson, and makes sure that second time around the ball is his. Anderson for James. Madueke is trying to return the ball back to him. Doing a terrific job of staying on the front foot. Here's Stones. He's there again for Declan Rice. John Stones is one of those who is in need of minutes, hence why he's once again in the England starting lineup today. His injuries this season mean he's not played anything like as much football as many of those out there. Rice for O'Reilly. Elliot Anderson. It's Alcacer who broke up play. England immediately win the ball back. Bellingham for Madueke. Jude Bellingham. Way off the head of Gallo, only momentarily. Anderson for Reece James. Konsa. Gets it back from Kane. Stones. Gordon. O'Reilly. Anderson. Back to him, but with heavy-handed challenge coming in from Carlos Moura. Patrick Sequeira has got a corner kick to prepare for. He's got a free kick, rather, to prepare for. With Declan Rice in the team, England will consider set pieces to be a very useful weapon to them at the World Cup. In from Rice to the zone that Kane was occupying. Sequeira does really well above the England number 9. England utterly dominant. Costa Rica struggling for meaningful touches of the ball in England territory. Salazar. Scoop up in the air rather than towards a teammate. It's Anderson. O'Reilly. Gordon was on the move and he was too quick. Yellow card, Sean Johnson, who's so far found the step up to full international football. A little bit trickier than he might have hoped. He's up against a rapid and determined opponent, a player good enough to have caught the eye of Barcelona. That's where Anthony Gordon will be playing his football next season. Confirmation that Sean Johnson is the first player to be cautioned this afternoon. And from Rice, flicked on by Kane! Fingertips from Sequeira to keep it at 1-0. Just a glance was all it needed from Harry Kane, and he thought that was destined for just inside the post. It may well have been, but for the outstretched glove of Patrick Sequeira. Once again, the sense from Katja Karaleva is that the jostling needs to be dealt with. Orlando Gallo and Harry Kane both being spoken to about it. This can now deliver. Try something a bit different. Anderson retrieves. Jordan Pickford wants a touch. He's come a long way to get it. Desperate to be involved, watching on from afar. James. Held up nicely for Madueke. Anderson for Reece James. Returns the pass. Elliot Anderson. Noni Madueke. Sequeira reacts well. It was bouncing and moving in front of him. England threaten again. But for the Costa Rica goalkeeper, would be further ahead. Madueke. If it was on target, Patrick Sequeira turned it aside. England will feel, but on the balance of play, they deserve better than 1-0 in their favour. And delivered by Declan Rice. Off the head of O'Reilly, retrieved by Ezra Konsa. Harry Kane. Can be forgiven. Considering the sheer volume of goals he's scored in the course of the last 9 months or so. I was asked Thomas Tuchel ahead of kick-off whether there was any thought in his mind that he would give Harry Kane a rest, protect his captain. He said that Kane himself would not welcome that. This is the goal that separates the sides as we reach the first half water break. Brilliant from Gordon, wasn't it? Burst of speed to get himself into a dangerous area. Declan Rice in exactly the place that somebody needed to occupy. Orlando Gallo, the unlucky Costa Rica player who got the touch that made sure the ball went past his goalkeeper. Declan Rice has played a huge amount of football this season, 55 games for Arsenal alone, leading them to the Premier League title and the Champions League final. Considering he has been confirmed as England's vice-captain for the World Cup, he is one of those, along with Harry Kane and goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, who can be absolutely certain that they will be starting against Croatia next week. Thomas Tuchel did point out, by the way, before the game, that it was the first time that he had selected a spine of Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice.